go ahead. What do you think Jim Cornette's saying here?
Yeah. Yeah, I came in here as a heel. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
That's a fan.
That is a fan, isn't it?
A fan has jumped in the ring, and the military is now realizing, wait a minute, this isn't part of the show. We got to get him out of here. And Bobby Eaton's like, hey, baby, you're going to need to get out. We're going to beat the fuck out of you. I know you think wrestling's fake, but I ain't fake. I'm about to fuck you up. You're going to need to get through them ropes, or I'm going to top rope, leg drop you for fucking real.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy here, the gray rectangles, we ain't here to fuck around.
What? Do you know that had this been a house show, that kid would have had his ass beaten?
Well, you can't murder him on camera.
Right.
If you can help it. And by the way, you have the two greatest, out come the Samoan SWAT team managed by Paul Heyman.
All right.
You've got two of the absolute greatest managers of all time here on either side. And for years and years, Bruce Pritchard has contended that Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman are actually the same person. Just one's from New York and one's from Kentucky.
I'm not so sure that I agree with that.
He just means in terms of their passion for wrestling, both getting in through photography, both really wanting to be involved in the business, both being very creative, both being very opinionated, both sort of rubbing people the wrong way at different times.
Is Paulie getting on social media and shitting on everything now in wrestling? I don't think he is.
Do you want to, boy, I would not have done that.
Yeah.
I feel like you just signed up for the pain train.
No, I'm giving an opinion. Jim Cornette, it doesn't like a lot of the stuff that goes on right now. He doesn't. And I get it because I've been with Jim Cornette and I've seen him what the fuck? I've seen his mind and holy shit, he took a hell of a bump there too.
You know what he does like? He likes, MLW, which is more than we can say for you since you quit showing up for work.
Hang on a second. I didn't quit showing up for work. They booked days that I wasn't available. Is right. But I wouldn't have mind working with Jim Cornette, but I think Rich Bocchini is doing a great job now.
Serious business.
Yeah.
Do you want to backstep what you said about Jim Cornette? Cause if you don't, you're going to get fucking.
Well, and I'm sure he's going to hammer me for saying, I just made an observation that Jim Cornette on social media and on his podcast shits on a lot of stuff now. I mean, I'm not shitting on Jim Cornette by saying that. I'm not arguing with Jim Cornette that he doesn't like a lot of the stuff that goes on. He hates Joey Ryan and all the stuff that Joey Ryan, and he hates all the acrobatic stuff. Jim is old school and he's very opinionated. So
one of the favorite things I've heard from Jim Cornette is, he's making fun of the guys like myself who like the phrase, wrestling is fun. And he doesn't want wrestling to be fun. He wants it to be real and hard hitting and all that. And how about this? Totally get it. But at the end of that, he said something that just tickled me about, I bathe in your tears or I drink your tears or I don't know. It was just like, he is so comfortable and just pissing people off and it makes him really happy. And it's like, that is Jim Cornette. I mean, he's a great promo and he's not even like, there's no camera in front of him. It's not on TV, but Lord, he's entertaining. If you haven't already, I guess we should mention, this is a good spot to mention this. Jim Cornette has two podcasts. One is The Experience, and he just talks about all things Jim Cornette. So you get his take on politics and what's current in wrestling. And a couple of weeks ago, he left a controversial review of Double or Nothing. Controversial because, well, everybody was sort of in wrestling euphoria. And if you didn't say Double or Nothing was the greatest show ever, it was controversial. So he had a different opinion and people did not like that. And he was very critical of certain things and it brought up all kinds of debate and controversy. Some of it silly. Either way though, he has another show that if you're just old school wrestling, and if you're listening to this show, you probably are, that's called The Drive-Thru. And man, that show's awesome. Have you listened to The Drive-Thru?
I have not listened. No, I'm not.
I recommend it. What he does is he just answers questions and his co-host Brian Last tells fans, hey, here's how you can ask Jim a question. And then, one after another, he just answers questions. And a lot of them or most of them are rooted in the old school, and it's good stuff. You would love it. So check it out. Jim Cornette's Drive-Thru, Corny's Drive-Thru.
So he doesn't like the modern stuff. I get it. I get it, and I understand it. And that's with the Jim Cornette apparently that is on social media right now is an extension of the Jim Cornette we've seen at ringside. Very opinionated, likes to cause trouble, likes what he likes, hates what he hates, doesn't give a shit who likes it or not. So what's wrong with that? He's a little bit less politically correct than I like to be at times. Paulie's talking to Missy.
Whoa. You're saying you're politically correct? Have you heard yourself on this show?
Well, I try to be politically correct when it comes to the boys and the boys' work. Don't you think so?
Well, let's talk about somebody who wasn't politically correct recently. Last week on the show, I had what a lot of social media referred to as a meltdown. I would not classify it as that. But people were sort of upset that I went off on Goldberg. And I said that Goldberg sucked and that it wasn't necessarily Goldberg's fault, that he was probably a great guy, but that he wasn't properly trained. And as a result, he hurt people and he was dangerous and was just undeserving of the spot he was in. And after that show aired, WWE ran a show in Saudi Arabia. Did you see the match with him and The Undertaker, which was our main event of that Saudi show?
I did not see it, but I have heard a lot of things about it, including, I think, didn't Goldberg apologize? Something happened during the match?
Well, let me tell you this. One of the things we're doing on Patreon this week as a bonus episode is we're watching that match from Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
With The Undertaker and Bill Goldberg. And I'm pretty sure at the end of that, you nor I will ever do anything with WWE. Cause I'm just going to call it like I see it.
Okay.
And everybody else did too, by the way, including Matt Riddle. You're familiar with Matt Riddle, right?
Oh yeah. Matt worked in MLW for a time before he went to NXT.
Matt Riddle had some pretty, cut to the bone comments about Goldberg.
You think it's an angle?
Nope. He said, you're dangerous and you're the worst wrestler ever. You're the worst wrestler in the business. And you're undeserving of your spot. And then he made fun of his knee bar. And then the next day, after he deleted some of those comments, he didn't back it down all the way. He said, hey, I just don't appreciate when wrestlers are given the spot and they're unsafe and they hurt people. By the way, or P.S. Undertaker's a stallion and a legend.
Huh. Speaking of hurting people, fans really bought into this, man. And of course, we didn't show the pin.
Look at the crowd, man. Look at the crowd.
I know, man. This is the old school stuff here.
What a great time for tag team wrestling too. Whether you were a big fan of any of those three, you know, the Samoan SWAT team, very realistic. The Midnight Express, arguably the best tag team ever. And then the Road Warriors here to just dominate and decimate. And they're all jacked up and they got the face paint. Of course, the crowd's going to be with it.
So are you saying that Goldberg and Undertaker is the worst match of all time?
No.
Huh.
Just saying it's, you know, it was the main event spot, dude.
Okay. I thought for a minute that my internet froze up, but that was just a long shot of Hawk. Oh my God. Everybody go, 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 go. You know, this wasn't too far before Desert Storm either, right? About a year before. Look at Jim sweating, buddy, sweating through his shit. His hair. And look at his, you notice how he's sweating through his
shirt?
Yeah.
Major league. Look, it's just pouring off of him.
Oh yeah, I know, man. He told me, he said it's the hottest he's ever been at a wrestling show in his life. And he and I did some work at Dorton Arena in Raleigh, and that was miserable too. But nothing like this, he said.